Welcome to Math 335, Trigonometry with College Algebra. I thought I would provide a video that would give you kind of an introduction to how to navigate this course to make sure you're getting the most out of your learning. What's important is that you have the textbook, this Trigonometry by Lyle 10th edition. It is an older textbook. You should be able to find it used or able to rent at a lower cost. There's the ISBN, apologize, you might not see where my cursor is. This 978032 number is the ISBN for that book. You'll want to secure that as quickly as possible. I don't have any PDF copy of the book that I can share with you, so contact me if you're having difficulty getting the book, because that is important. So as we go through here, I put some information here. I'm asking you to do a few things, so please read this over. And so to get started, I want you to read the syllabus to the course, download the supplemental packet, download the homework so you know what that is, and then use the modules to learn. So let me kind of show you what I mean by that. If it says to access all three of those, the syllabus, the supplemental packet, and the homework, to go to the syllabus page, which is found right here. So I didn't want to cumbersome up this. What's nice about this syllabus page in Canvas is it shows you all the due dates. So you can see that your homework number 1 is going to be due on Friday, September 4th. And it will show you exactly, or I'll show you right now, exactly what you're going to hand in. It's going to show you that we have exam 1 that's going to be taken on Friday the 18th, and exam 3, and this will be unique to you. If you see here why there's 2 exam 1s, I did mention that I picked an arbitrary time of 9 to noon to have you take your test on that day, 9 a.m. to noon, but you're welcome to suggest another time, as one student already has, who's been in the syllabus and realizes that at least on the 18th, she's not going to be able to take it in that morning time frame, and asked me to move it to a different time frame so that she would be able to go to work. And so I'm happy to do that. It's super easy. You just need to contact me ahead of time. So I brought up these things. So if you clicked on syllabus, this is what you would see. The Math 335 syllabus. Right? And so you read through that. My intent is not to read through all of these. We're going to have support hours from Mondays from 10 to 11:30, where I'll be live on Zoom ready to answer questions that you're experiencing the homework problems right with you. It'll work really, really well. The other thing that is here, when you click on homework, this is what you're going to have. And it's important that we understand this. For each assignment grouping, organize the homework in section order. So you're going to turn in multiple sections at the same time. You're only submitting problems from the required homework. Work all required problems showing all necessary steps. And then what I need you to do is scan all of your work into a single PDF. You can take pictures and then use an app like Cam Scanner to organize the pictures into one PDF document. And so I'll force that to happen because of the exam. If I can get you to turn your exam as a single PDF, I can mark it up and then submit it back to you, and you can have comments and know exactly where you missed the points on your exam. And then you'll go to the associated homework assignment in Canvas and submit your work by uploading your PDF file there. I typically grade this mainly on completion. And down here, 7 is important. There are also recommended problems assigned for each chapter. They are problems that are not to be turned in, but you really need to work them if you're going to pass the class. I put that it will increase your chances of passing the class for sure, because it's going to give you more practice with the same thing. I cannot guarantee that the recommended alone will be enough practice, and so therefore I'm highly recommending that you do the recommended problems. But in order to make a nice file to upload, I'm only requiring a few. So what does that look like? So when you go to hand in your first homework assignment, it's going to be these problems right here. So you're going to be turning in these problems. These problems that are in the second column. So in Appendix A, although you're going to be working all these problems in the required section, you're also going to be working some additional ones in the in the recommended section over here. And these guys over here are required. I need you to hand in 29, 30, 31, 32, 50, 64, 88, and 90. I'm asking you not to turn in these, otherwise it will get too cumbersome to grade. Most of these are even problems, so I can check your work in that, and I know that it's not a student solutions manual. But again, you're going to be working the odd problems to know that you know what's going on if you're over here in the recommended section. So this first column is do these if you want to increase your chance of passing. And required problems, these are the ones to turn in. Turn these in for homework and have it Appendix A, those problems, followed by Appendix B, those problems, Appendix C, and then take pictures or scan it, however you're choosing to do that, and then turn it in as one PDF document. That's due September 4th. Then you'll have another group of problems. You'll be in Chapter 3, and that homework number 2 is going to be due September 11th. And then number 3 is due the day we take the exam, which is reinforced here. So there's lots of reinforcement on homework due dates and exam dates as you read through this document and also in Canvas. Now, one way that I'm going to provide instruction is through this supplemental packet. So if you remember, let me minimize this for a minute. The supplemental notes packet was here to download. When we bring that up, this is going to be the notes that I do. So basically these are guided notes. And so I have video lectures that are already posted over these sections to help you learn and understand these key functions, right? And so I use this as a guide to go through the lecture material. And so as we get to get beyond the key functions and into Appendix A, right? And so all this is background work that you did in algebra that we're just bringing up here again. Circles. And then we start to get into the book, right? This is Appendix A, solving equations, just making sure you remember about functions because it's super important, domains and ranges. And I'm flipping through this right now, but if you go, there's segmented videos of each of these, including this one here from Chapter 1, in which I introduce you to angles. So this is basically what I would do in lecture. I say basically because lecture would have been interaction back and forth, but that is going to take place in Zoom if you're able to be there. I'll record the Zoom sessions if you're not. But the Zoom sessions are really for you to say, okay, I've looked at this stuff, I've read it in the book, I've looked at the video examples that you've done, Jensen, and this is what the struggles that I have. So this is here for you to follow along with, to take your own notes with as you watch the video lectures. And so how are you going to learn? You're going to come to the modules section, and it's going to break it up each week what you should be doing. Again, we're not meeting each week. We'll have a Zoom session once each week just to make sure things are okay. I put the important course documents right here as well, just so they weren't hidden under the syllabus page only. But the week of August 24th, these are the things that we should do. We should be looking at the key functions, the circles, Appendix A, B, and C, the 1.1 and 1.2 homework. And all of that homework is going to be due on September 4th. So I put the homework number 1 in the week that it's going to be due. So ideally you're doing the homework there, but you'll go to this week because that's the week that it's submitted. If I click on section 1.1, for lack of a better one, you can see how we're going to learn in this class. I tell you to give you a brief description of what's going on in this section in the first paragraph. And the second paragraph says, as you study this section, my advice would be to read the section in your book and then turn to any of the following resources for guidance. So I included the PowerPoint that was created by the publisher, and then I also created my own video lecture that you can click on and view right here on the screen or make bigger. Welcome to Chapter 1, Section 1. Here we're going to really get into a core foundational piece of trigonometry, and that is to talk to you about angles. And you're probably familiar with angles. We have some definitions here on this page. Okay, and so I walk you through each one of those areas. And let me